What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports, back again with another one. Y'all want to talk about the whole Deshaun Watson injury debacle. Well, that's exactly what it is, it's a debacle. And the bad rap that Deshaun Watson is getting. Deshaun Watson in week 3 was coming off his best game in the Cleveland Browns uniform. Lit up the Tennessee Titans at home. But in that game, he got hurt. Had a shoulder injury, which should have kept him out 2 to 3 weeks. But he got misdiagnosed by the Cleveland Browns doctors who cleared him to play. He refused to play because he knew something was wrong in his shoulder. It didn't feel right, and it was on his throwing shoulder too. So he decided to tap out, and he got lit up like a Christmas tree by Cleveland Brown fans. So the next week he did not play, and I believe the week after that he did not play. And he finally came back versus the Baltimore Ravens, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe he came back the game before. They played the Arizona Cardinals. My bad. He came back against the Arizona Cardinals. The team won 27-0. He played solid football. It wasn't great. It wasn't spectacular. But bottom line is, he led the team to a 27-0 victory. The Cleveland Browns have, if not their best defense, one of the best defenses in the NFL. And they moved on to a big division game versus the Baltimore Ravens. And in that game, it's been reported that he broke a bone in his shoulder in the first quarter. He continued to play after having a miserable first half, where I think he completed 1 pass. It was horrible all across the board. Make no mistake about it. Even though he had a broken bone in his shoulder that occurred in the first quarter, he had a horrible first half. Came back in the second half. Hold on. Let me rewind. And he also was dealing with a sprained ankle. So he had a broken bone in his throwing shoulder, sprained ankle, and in the second half he went 14 for 14. Unbelievable in the second half, and led his team to a comeback victory over division-leading Baltimore Ravens. Obviously, after that game, he got an MRI, revealed that he had a broken bone. Now he has season-ending surgery on that throwing shoulder, and he's out for the year. And now he's getting lit up by Cleveland Brown fans. They're looking at the fact that he's got a $230 million guaranteed contract, which in the first 2 years, he's been paid $92 million for 2 years, and he's played 12 games. And the fans are in an uproar. They're saying before this season-ending shoulder surgery is going to transpire, they were saying that he was basically got his money. He didn't care nothing about playing football anymore. You know, his hunger had gone. The fire had left out of his belly, and he was no longer the Deshaun Watson that we seen taking snaps under center with the Clemson Tigers and the Houston Texans. I believe he's getting a bad rap. I believe that despite the fact he got misdiagnosed by team doctors for the Cleveland Browns, in which probably should have left a bad taste in any athlete's mind, knowing you're not right, knowing you're not healthy, but they're trying to make you come out there and play because they're up under the gun, especially the head coach, Stefanski, as a team has got to make the playoffs this year. I believe his job is in jeopardy. So it's a lot of pressure on him. It's a lot of money that has been put behind Deshaun Watson. So it's a lot of pressure coming from different people. Head coach, organization, the fans. They all putting the pressure on Deshaun Watson, and they scapegoating Deshaun Watson. Because Deshaun Watson had been out of football for basically 2 years before he going to the Cleveland Browns. Now, some of that was his fault. He could have played for the Houston Texans, but he refused to play for him when he was going through his legal issues And I'm not here to excuse those legal issues, as 20+ women came out and accused him of sexual assault. There's no excuse for that. Most of those women have been paid money for that, for those charges to go away. And I think all but ones that he's going to have to, all but one have basically been paid off. Let me just say it like that, been paid off. It was always a civil case, so it's nothing bad that you can say about that. It was a civil case, so if it's a civil case and you can make a settlement out of court, well, you ain't got to waste, you know, taxpayers' money and having a court case go down, and you can be compensated, you believe, fairly. And all the women that agreed to the settlement, they approved that they will be compensated fairly. And those cases have gone by the wayside. All but one case have gone by the wayside. With all that being said, Deshaun Watson knew he wasn't right. Deshaun Watson told the Cleveland Browns, despite the fact that the team doctors at Cleveland played, that his shoulder wasn't right. People would blame Deshaun Watson, saying that he was a diva, saying that he had got his money and now he's don't want to put it on the line no more. Now that he got his money. His money is guaranteed whether he play one game or 68 games. It don't matter. It really don't matter. He gonna get his money. His money is a done deal. It's done data. He gonna get paid. But the problem with all that is Deshaun Watson ain't never been that type of player that was just in the game for the money. He loved the game. He's a competitor. He won a national championship at Clemson, defeating the Alabama Crimson Tide, which was the creme de la creme of college football, defeated them. And the second time they played back-to-back national championship games, played well in the first game, but the defense couldn't hold up, and Alabama, led by Derrick Henry, was able to get that victory. But they played them again in a rematch, and Deshaun Watson got his revenge. Deshaun Watson went to the Houston Texans, and if I'm not mistaken, took them to the playoffs 2 out of his first 4 years. Beat the Buffalo Bills when they were down 16-0. Deshaun Watson put the team on his back and brought them the victory against a team that probably had more talent than them in the Buffalo Bills. Had a 24-0 lead over the Kansas City Chiefs before they fell apart. A year or two before that, took his team to the playoffs when they won the AFC South. They lost to the Indianapolis Colts in the wild card round of the playoffs. In a team that was not that talented, in my opinion. Didn't have a big time running back. Had one big time receiver in DeAndre Hopkins. Had a solid defense led by J.J. Watt and what's my boy name, man? Jadeveon Clowney. Had some players on defense, but was not, in my opinion, a more talented team than teams they were competing with in the AFC, like the New England Patriots, who had Tom Brady at the time, the Kansas City Chiefs, who had Mahomes in the second year. You know, Indianapolis Colts had Andrew Luck. You know, teams like that, they were not on that level. Now he's with the Cleveland Browns, and he's in there probably with the best talent he's been around since he's been in the NFL, and he suffered an unfortunate injury. The team putting the pressure on him to come back from that injury, being misdiagnosed by team doctors once again. Fans saying that he done got his money and he's satisfied, he wants to sit on his laurels. Just misrepresenting everything Deshaun Watson stands for. Deshaun Watson is a competitor. You heard his coach say that he will be the Michael Jordan in the NFL. That's his college head coach said that. And I just believe that he's getting messed over real bad, messed over royally by the Cleveland Browns fans. I've been listening to their radio show this morning, and they've been going in on Deshaun Watson, saying it was a waste of a contract, it was a waste of money by the Cleveland Browns front office, but nothing further can be from the truth. Let it all play out. You're in the second year of a multi-year contract. Give it time. If we're going through this again in the third year where his player's not up to par and he's getting banged around, getting hurt again and missing multiple games, then I might be more sympathetic to your accusations against Deshaun Watson. But until then, I believe you're trying to scapegoat this guy. This guy has a legitimate injury. He tried to play through the injury. Actually, he played a whole half with a broken bone in his shoulder and a sprained ankle, and he led his team to the best win of the regular season so far this year. And he's getting unjustly crucified. Let me know your thoughts. Follow me on Facebook, Gerard Briscoe. Like, share, and subscribe to JB Sports. The man, the myth, the legend. And I holla.